Disney Vibes Podcast, talking insider tips, tricks, and pixie dust. For the most magical place on Earth, here's Andrew and Heather.
Welcome to episode 46 of the Disney Vibes Podcast. I am Andrew.
I am Heather.
And you are the better looking one. We've already distinguished that before on air in the show notes.
Oh my goodness, you're so kind.
I
Sorry.
try. Disney Vibes brought to you by Magical Destinations Travel. You like us, our content, the show, show your support. Book your next Disney World, DCL, anything. Any vacation through Magical Destinations Travel. It's bookmdtravel.com. Our agents are on standby waiting to help you secure your next vacation, and it costs you absolutely nothing. And as always, please download the Disney Vibes Podcast wherever you get your podcast from. You like the content, provide feedback and a rating as well, and we appreciate that support. We're still working on YouTube.
We are. We'll get there.
We will get there.
Slow and steady wins the race.
But we appreciate all of our loyal listeners. We can see the trends, and we do appreciate that. And share it with a friend. That's the best way to spread the vibes, the good vibes, right?
Absolutely.
So, all right. How you feeling? You good?
Yeah. So it's Saturday morning, first off.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
not
rare
6
for us.
a.m.
No.
And so that's why,
we're off schedule. Let's just be honest.
Whatever. But
it's 10
fine.
days.
And that's why you're looking at someone who's a little bit more presentable this morning. So, yeah. No, and it's kind of gloomy out. So we're kind of on a standby to see what our afternoon looks like sports-wise.
Right.
So we'll see. But
Right.
Disney makes everything better. So
It does, especially if you were there today. The smells of Main Street. I hear you. Right.
for sure.
So, all right. You got a joke for me.
I do.
Inappropriate joke for me.
No. Oh my gosh.
No, we're not going to talk about that one.
Okay. No,
Keep
I'm
it
not
for
going to talk
kids.
about it. But if you go do a Google search, there are definitely some interesting jokes.
If you want Heather's funny joke that is not rated for the show, just reach out to her and she will gladly tell you the joke.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it made me laugh, I think, harder than any other joke. Okay.
All right. What time does Donald Duck wake up?
I don't know.
At the quack of dawn.
All right. Yeah. Good.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. That's those. That's like a good mom and dad joke.
That
That's a
was
good one.
perfect.
It was good. It was fine. It was good. All right. Would you rather visit Wonderland
Okay.
or Neverland?
We already did this, I feel
We didn't do
like.
Wonderland or Neverland.
Neverland.
Okay. I don't think we did that.
Wonderland, I'm telling you, Alice in Wonderland scares me. The whole movie, even all the makeups, was it renditions? No, I don't know, whatever. No. I don't want to grow up.
You want to go to Neverland. Okay,
Neverland.
fair point. All right, so some news has come out. Here's what's happening. So the first thing I want to talk about, and this looks really cool, is as we know that the villas at the Disneyland Resort are currently going to be on sale for DVC. There's a new look at Steamboat Willie splash pad at the villas at the Disneyland Hotel. And if you're a fan of Steamboat Willie, the original Mickey, right? It's just cool. It's literally the boat submerged into the splash pad with Steamboat Willie in it. The image, the rendering is awesome. It's projected to open in fall of 2023. So it's definitely cool. It's got the pallet pool, the Palm Breeze bar, and a whimsical splash pad incorporating elements from Steamboat Willie. So what I want to know is I know it's going to be on the West Coast, but I feel like this would have such a home at Contemporary. Contemporary
Really?
needs a refresh, and I think this is where they should do it. That's just my opinion. Disney, take notes, right? So I think that would be perfect. Because there are already some things with the same murals they're talking about that are going at the Disneyland Hotel at Contemporary. Yeah, I mean, you could put it at Grand Floridian as well, right? But I think...
no, not this. I don't know. This doesn't fit into the Grand Floridian.
That's true, right? Because it's not at the Grand Californian out there. So that's why I'm saying Contemporary is like the next... I don't want to say flagship, but it's the one with the, because the monorail goes through it and it just got the refresh.
Super
or maybe
cute,
some
though.
with the Incredibles. But so if you're visiting Disneyland Hotel, definitely check out the Steamboat Willie splash pad. So it's definitely cool.
So the Steamboat Willie is the first Mickey Mouse, correct? Or no? Or is it I should know this. It's always one of the questions when we're leaving the airport to go to Disney, whether it's on
Well, there's
the
no
old
more.
school
I was
Magical
gonna say,
Express.
there's no
But no,
more.
but it was also on. Our driver was really cool. With the last, what was it? Where'd we go? With the train.
Yeah. Sunshine Flyer.
Yes.
So, and quick update for Sunshine Flyer. So, if you are booking travel with Sunshine Flyer, and this is as of today, right? So, as of May 20th, they are not able to provide transportation to Disney if you are flying right now. I know because we were looking into it for someone, JetBlue. JetBlue is in a new terminal at Orlando International Airport, and they are not allowing those transport companies to transport them from, so you basically have to get on a tram or the train and go to a different, it's a headache. So to me at that point, just Uber. And I don't know about Mears because we didn't try Mears, but I'm assuming that if they're not letting one in, they're not letting any in at this point.
Interesting.
So ground transportation, otherwise other things would be your best bet for that. So especially for those summer vacations, because you may be looking at that now. And I know Sunshine Flyer was having some great deals with kids free, but not right now. So,
Interesting.
But yes, back on the rails, Steamboat Willie.
So
1928.
I was right.
You were right. Yeah.
Yeah. 1928.
1928 was the Steamboat Willie rendition, the first one. So, and I love Steamboat Willie. It's classic. All right, should I play the Taps music? Star Cruiser, right? I think we called this.
We did.
Right?
We absolutely did.
You knew the writing was on the wall when they kept discounting and canceling voyages. So here is the latest update on Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. The final voyage for the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser will take place September 28th through September 30th, 2023. Now, I know on previous episodes we said we will get there. I don't think we're going to be getting there.
Well, not this exact.
Not on this.
No.
Right.
I'm.
It's sad, but Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is one of their most creative projects ever and has been praised by their guests and recognized for setting a new bar for innovation and immersive entertainment. The premium experience gave Disney the opportunity to try new things on a smaller scale of 100 rooms, and they're going to take what they've learned to create future experiences that can reach more of our guests and fans. They're going to be contacting any guests booked for voyages departing on or after September 30th to discuss options and modify their plans. And to prioritize these guests, they have paused all booking. So if you want to go this summer, you still can. So call us up and if you're like, we were going to do it next year, you can still do it. You can call us up and we will get you on board. And it's actually some decent pricing now. So, but they are very proud of all the cast members. I mean, that's who I feel bad for is the cast members and the ones who are just immersed in those roles and the Imagineers for the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, because it was an excellent experience. And I think there's definitely some other ways they could have made it better. Not better. I think it would have sold more. They got their initial rush at the highest price point for those Star Wars, gung-ho fans, right? And then, some people aren't into cosplay, but they still like it. The challenge was the price point. That's always what it was. Because even the most, the highest level of Star Wars fan, maybe they couldn't afford it. 2 days at almost $6,000 is a lot of money. So maybe they should have made it a third day. Maybe that would have helped, for a little bit, or again, bring the price down. I think, I mean, you can fans. I mean, if you're, had a group or whatever, you could almost say, okay, you owe $1,500. It's a room of 4, right? So $1,500, for each one. But that was the problem. And now it's only 100 rooms, so it's going to be categorized as a moderate hotel, deluxe. I don't know if they transform it into that. Are they going to try to rebuild and expand it? And there's no pool, so that's another problem. Right. So this is going to be vacant until the early parts of 2024, unless they come up with some whimsical plan that I don't know. Maybe it'll become a wedding venue.
Oh God, I can't even imagine. Okay, but let's rewind a little bit. Where exactly is it within the lands? Is it like in?
It's right behind. Galaxy's
Star Wars
Edge.
Land. Okay, yeah. So it's there.
You can't access it. You can't see it from Hollywood Studios, I don't think. Maybe on top of Slinky or...
Right.
But you're not going to see much of it, no.
So I just wonder if somehow they can incorporate it into the actual land, right? I mean, I don't even know how much. I mean, I know you can make Star Wars Land bigger or whatever, but I mean, it would have to be ginormous.
Yeah, but
that
I mean
point.
that you're just going to be blowing that building up with bathrooms and showers, and I mean I don't think it's going to become part of Hollywood Studios. I don't. There's no way that's possible. It's going to become some kind of resort because that's how they're going to make money off that.
So maybe it's just themed that way.
Yeah, I mean it could be, and the theming I'm sure it's fantastic as we saw all the images from it. But it's the price point, and what price point is it going to be at?
So well,
and they have to add a pool. You cannot have a resort without a pool. You can't in Florida. I don't think you have a resort without a pool anywhere.
But
no one's going to go there because what are we going to do when we need to rest?
well, but maybe that's where it's just going to be that it's so themed because you don't have a resort that is solely themed on something like that.
Maybe.
You know, and I think people will pay to stay there because of the theming experience, like your diehard Star Wars fans.
Yeah, but not that price point.
Well, no,
and
no,
I know
no,
that
no,
didn't
correct.
include your
Not
food.
at that.
Like it's going to take a while to re-envision and reimagine, which I'm sure the discussions I'm sure have already been started as they decided to close it. It's going to take some while. I mean, let's see what it's going to be rebranded as, but I'd say you're looking. Maybe I'm wrong. I would say earliest would be 12 months. Like, okay, if you're starting now, your last one's in September. Whatever you're going to do, maybe you can reopen it by May 4th next year, right? As like, you know, as you
May the 4th.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, it could be a while.
Or when's the next Star Wars movie coming out?
I don't know the date. I don't.
Interesting. To be continued, but
yeah, sad days. So they, you know, but at least they recognized that it was not working, and they did not keep bleeding, you know, profusely and trying to push it, and nobody just didn't matter what they did, you know, they weren't coming. All right, other news: there are new summer ticket offers coming to Walt Disney World Resort. So there is a 4-park magic ticket. So what the 4-park magic ticket is it allows your agent to purchase you a 4-day, 4-park magic ticket, $99 per day plus tax. So $396 plus tax. All right, and that's 1 day of admission to each of the 4 theme parks, 4 admissions, 4 separate days. No theme park reservations are needed. So that's anybody can do that. So that's a cheap. We know prices have gone up to almost, I mean, $150 or so a day on average. So you're saving, you know, $50 a day per ticket.
right. So it's just 1 park per day, no hopping.
No hopping, and I don't think you can add it. This is a special one. You know, but there are some people who don't like to hop. So
Correct. No,
you
that's
know,
fine.
and I believe I read something in the fine print that once you enter the park and you leave, you cannot go back into that park. Like I don't know how they're going to do that, but that was something, you know, interesting. But you know, so there's a lot that you can do. I mean, you know, 1 park per day. If you don't need to hop unless you have like good plans, like in order. So.
Right.
It could definitely be helpful. Florida residents, there are some specials for you as well. There's a 4-day ticket for $58 per day plus tax, or 3 days for $70 per day. Remember, the longer you stay, the cheaper it gets. Mm-hmm. So there is a lot of tickets coming through, as we saw all of the things that Disney's doing for their incredible thrills this summer that they're trying to push thematically. Bob Iger is trying to recognize, obviously, guests. Revenge travel is over.
Oh my God, what does that mean? Revenge travel?
Well, everybody couldn't travel during the pandemic.
Okay. That just threw me there a loop. Revenge travel.
Well, they all booked. It was crazy, right? When people could start booking again.
I get it.
You know? So it was revenge travel is over. So now Disney is seeing that their numbers have come down a little bit as well. So the next thing's kind of exciting to me. And we talked briefly about it. Why are you laughing?
Because you're funny.
Well, there's a couple reasons why. Because I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. Now, I want to go down there just to see some of these, just for fun. But we have the final list, okay? It's the first look, but the list of the Eat to the Beat concert series at EPCOT. The lineup has been revealed. Obviously, if you're not familiar with that, it coincides with the Food and Wine Festival sponsored by Corsical. And it's going to start July 27th, same as when Food and Wine kicks off. So here's the first look, okay, at the lineup of artists that'll be bringing the sizzling sounds to the America Gardens Theater, which is great. I mean, I think it's just as an amphitheater area open at night. with the water in the backdrop.
Very
and
cool
obviously
vibe.
Spaceship Earth. It's definitely cool. But there are some here that I'm like, this is awesome. So some of these I don't know, but off the top of my head, I'd have to hear the music. But
Oh my gosh!
wait a minute. Shh.
I didn't see that.
Quiet. Okay, July 28th, 29th, Orianthi. That's a new act that's been listed. 30th and 31st of July for King and Country. 4th and 5th of August is Southern Avenue. 6th, 7th of July, right? I mean, August, I'm sorry, is Tiffany.
Tiffany.
You think we're alone now?
11th
11th and 12th, Ruben Studdard with Haley Reinhart, right? Remember Ruben?
Oh my Lord!
Right,
way
American
back.
Idol.
Yeah.
13th, 14th, the Bacon Brothers. 18th through the 21st, Joey Fatone and Friends.
Who are the friends? Who are the friends?
It's not Justin Timberlake,
Oh
I
my
can tell you
God.
that.
Who are the friends? Show me now.
And then it's
Aaron Jones?
yes, the 25th. I think it's
Aaron Jones.
25th, 26th, Aaron Jones. 27th, Philip Phillips. It looks like September 1st and 2nd.
Baha Men.
The Baha Men, so who let the dogs out, right? 3rd and 4th, Mercy Me. Okay, they have a song.
Mercy. Is that it?
I
No.
don't know.
Oh, man.
Nope.
Okay.
Anyway, 8th and 9th, Ray Parker Jr. Who are you going to call?
Oh, gosh, really?
10th through the 11th, Toby Mac. 15th and 16th is celebrity Latin talent. 17th and 18th, Raul Acosta and Oro Solido. 22nd, 23rd, Los Amigos Invisibles. 24th and 25th, 98 degrees.
I know.
Give me just one more night. Una noche.
Gosh.
Right? And then it says September 29th through October 2nd, Boys to Men. Like, I want to make a weekend and see if we can get down there.
I'll go.
You know what? And before I forget, there is somebody.
There's somebody.
Well, this is now a challenge, right?
Oh, my God.
Where you get up early in the morning,
Yeah.
right? You get on the plane, you go to the park. Some people do all 4 parks. I don't know how that's possible. And then they don't even have a hotel stay, and then they come back the same day.
I know. That's like a challenge on social media.
Yeah.
You want to do it?
I don't know. I'm getting old. I don't know. 4
We can
parks.
do it. I mean, we just have to maybe.
Like, you have to do 1 ride per park. You can't really have a sit down.
No, you can't have a sit down. No, it's an adrenaline rush, and yeah,
Coffee.
lots
Joffrey's
of coffee.
But all right, so
No children. Sorry.
yeah, no.
No
Oh God,
children.
no, no. So yeah, so what about it? September 29th, October 2nd, Boys to Men. 6th and 7th, Mark Willis. 8th and 9th, Sugar Ray.
I just wanna fly.
Right. 13th through the 14th of October is Hoobastank. That's great. 15th through the 2nd, Air Supply. I'm all out of love. 20th through the 21st, Taylor Dane. We know somebody who would like to see Taylor Dane. 22nd, 23rd, Billy Ocean. 27th through the 30th is Hanson.
Oh my goodness.
Bop.
Bop.
We the Kings, 3rd through the 4th, Sheila E., 5th, 6th, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy on October 10th through the 11th, and then 12th through the 13th, 38 Special. Tickets will be going on sale for these performances starting July 6th, with your Eat to the Beat dining packages. Now, that's if you want like a specific seat, I think.
Right.
But to experience, I mean, you could hear it just, you'll be able to hear it
Yeah.
when you're in the American Pavilion walking by the international, oh my gosh,
In the countries.
yes, but it's called, yes, fine. Not the Gateway. The Gateway is where you go into France. Anyways, July 6th.
Is that when we're going to be there? No. When are we? That's what I'm looking at my phone. We're going to be there.
We will be there.
August.
We will actually be there for Joey Fatone and Friends.
Oh my God. And friends. Holy moly.
Well,
All right.
for at least 1 or 2 days.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to have to figure out who the friends are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd buy tickets to see Joey Fatone
No,
and Friends,
no.
especially with the kids. But I'd walk by to,
Oh, yeah.
And the
Friends.
21st is actually, that would work because we can go to the park that day. Like in the 19th through the 21st, and then the 22nd, we're going to go to Not So Scary Halloween Party. But, yeah, Joey Fatone and Friends.
And friends.
He's there 4 days.
That's crazy. That's a lot of friends. Maybe a lot of different friends.
It's probably Lance.
Oh, my Lord.
Anyway, so yeah, that's fun stuff right there, right? All right. Something that I was very excited about
Oh, boy.
is the new restaurant that's coming.
Oh, this is what we talked about with our children?
Yeah, so depending upon what kind of cuisine you like, but new Shiki-Sai, I don't know if I said that right.
Sounds
Shiki-Sai, Sushi Izakaya opening at EPCOT this summer. So if you are a big fan of sushi, that would be this is what you want to check out. So foodies know that one of the best places to explore those variety of global cuisines is at EPCOT, which will soon be home to a new location at the Japan Pavilion. We like the Japan with Teppanyaki there. Like it's great.
It's actually, this is last year is the first year we ever went in, like back into the shops and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's very deceiving because you don't think there's much back there, but there is a ton.
Well, and I think that's the challenge is, I get it. At the front of EPCOT, you have, obviously your three lands, and everybody's hitting Guardians. Everybody's going to Figment and Test Track and Frozen's back there, but all those rides. EPCOT, I mean, don't get me wrong. You get the sentimental value down when you walk down Main Street and you're at Magic Kingdom. But Magic Kingdom is not my favorite park. Literally, EPCOT is. Drinking aside, okay, and food aside, it really is because it's spaced out. And you could just take a leisurely stroll, let's say, and there is if you don't go into the pavilions, you don't see the cultural things there. Like, I bet a lot of people have not gone into the Mexico Pavilion and gone on to which JMO loved, the Tres Caballeros ride, the little boat with Huey, Dewey, Louie.
Right.
Like, there's little things that they have incorporated throughout, and as Disney Imagineers continue to evolve and change things, I can't wait to see how they're going to get more Coco and Kanto built into these, right? So it's one of my favorite. It's my favorite park. There you go. Soapbox moment over. Anyways, Japan Pavilion. Shiki-Sai Sushi Izakaya. It's a table service restaurant. It's going to offer a festive dining experience in a shareable Izakaya style for guests to create memories and good times through flavors. So here's what's going to happen at the restaurant. Guests are going to be able to experience the essence of Japan's seasonal festivals, where each month brings a new celebration to their table, from hanging Tanzaku to celebrate Tanabata in July to savoring moon viewing dumplings in September. A cultural representative from Japan will guide guests through each unique festival experience, one bite at a time. The atmosphere also embraces the festivals of Japan, with the atmosphere featuring beautiful hand-painted artwork and lanterns, highlighting some of the natural wonders that Japan offers as well, really immersing you in Japanese culture. Each and every visit is designed to create unforgettable memories that capture the spirit of Japan's vibrant seasonal festivities. And if you don't know about them, this is how it's kind of, teaching tomorrow's youth, right? Do you have anything to say? You're just shaking your head up and down.
Well, no, I'm listening.
Oh, so in addition to the full menu filled with mouth-watering Japanese delights like sushi and teppanyaki items, there will be an open sushi bar and grill located on the second floor of the Japan Pavilion. Shiki-Sai offers stunning views of EPCOT, the World Showcase Lagoon, and of course, fireworks. Now, let me tell you, Japan is the place. Yeah. Like right near that, whatever that building or that...
the structure, the red structure.
Yes, you know exactly where I was going.
We are so not culturally professional
but
here.
I'm telling you, whatever. That is such a good that is a great area to watch fireworks. However, it's now changed the show again, so I don't know if it's specific to that area. Japan is one of the best.
Right. Because you're smack in the middle of the
But again,
water.
we got to see, right. You got to see how the show is. We got to determine that. So right. Anyways, sushi lovers will marvel at the first-hand look at sushi being made right before their eyes by the chefs when sitting at the sushi bar. The unique spot provides a can't-miss dining experience along with a magnificent trellis inspired by the roof of the Phoenix Hall of Kyoto that will mesmerize guests' eyes while the food captivates their taste buds. So then it goes on, the article, the press release with all of it. They have a monster roll. Our kids, I don't want to say...
They're not into the raw fish of
a little
sushi.
bit. They'll do the crab. They'll do crab, and they'll do tuna, right?
They're more of but it has to be like a roll.
Oh, yeah.
Or, not like...
the rice and with some wasabi.
Right. So, like, they have like a boat, I want to say here, that has all the different types of offerings of, like rolls, and that looks like some sort of creature.
Yeah.
With
Creature?
its tentacles. Look at the one.
Oh, it's probably an octopus.
Oh, well, wonderful. We're not into that yet.
We're going to try it out. We will let you know. There's no date yet. So it is a table service, but then it seems like with the sushi bar, you'll be able to, maybe it's a quick serve, right? Like, oh, let me get a California roll to go. Like, I think it's maybe 2 areas. I don't know, though. But definitely looking forward to trying it. We had some great sushi when we were in Florida with the kids recently. Not Florida, Hilton Head, South Carolina, and it was fantastic. And they just were mesmerized by the presentation more than anything, I think.
Yes.
So, all right, that kind of leads into our episode focus, okay? And what I want to talk about is, and we've experienced this, is advanced dining reservations. Now, with advanced dining reservations, there's a couple things. It used to be 180 days. So for those that have not been to Disney in years, you used to be able to book your dining reservations 180 days prior to your arrival date, right? So you were able to do that. Now it's 60 days. It's been that since since the pandemic happened. Obviously, because of social distancing and seating and staffing, and they've had all kinds of issues. They're getting things obviously back to normal just because we now know the dining plan is coming back in January of 2024. You're able to book that after the holiday rush. So remember, that reminds me, packages for 2024 open up in the next 11 days. So make sure you contact us to get whatever you want. Let us get it. So I know I have a couple people that I have to quote them immediately once that comes out. But anyways, so as far as advanced dining reservations go, it can be complicated.
It's overwhelming.
And the challenge is, to me, it's more challenging to do it on your phone. I understand you have to do it on your phone when you are in the parks and you're closer, but 60 days out, I would assume you have access to a computer, which gives you a lot bigger screen. It's just a little bit easier.
Yes, I agree.
And I would also make sure that when you kind of prioritize which restaurants you want. So as soon as your 60-day window opens, right, from day one, that's going to open it up for your entire reservation.
So even if...
So you could have 70. If you were staying 10 days, your last day is now available, but so is everybody else's.
Right.
So just remember that. Like, somebody may have already, gotten your first day. That may be their 10th day. So, for perspective. But they're becoming easier to book. It's not as crazy because we know it's easier because the restaurants maybe aren't as crowded, and staffing has now come back to a regular normal level. Some people may be not wanting to spend the money on a table reservation versus a quick serve, right? Cost-wise. So bringing back the dining plan tells us that they are basically they're seeing there's more availability. However, there's those restaurants you want that are and those times a year that it's going to be very challenging to get your advanced dining reservation. I will say, I didn't think I was going to have any luck getting Woody's Roundup Rodeo for a client this past week, and I did.
Wow.
Now, I got it for 4, so the numbers is another thing.
That's a whole different factor.
And then I had to modify, or I couldn't even modify it. I had to cancel it, and then get one. I had to make it for 5, but the time was I think I had to go even really earlier or later than a normal dinner time. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing with dining is you got to have flexibility in your day as far as when your dinner is going to be. Like, it's not going to be 9 a.m., 12 o'clock, and 5.
Yeah, you're not going to have it that perfect.
No. And things are going to change with that.
Exactly.
So there are ways, I don't want to say to beat the system. You can't beat the system or outsmart it. It's more of just trying to make sure we want to give you these tips to beat or outsmart your competition, which is everybody else who listens to this podcast. No, I'm just kidding. So here's one tip, right? Number 10, here we go. Search by half hour. So when you search, you get the option, 2 options. Half hour for meal service, right? Don't search always by the entire time frame, like lunch or breakfast, which is like 8 to noon, right? So typically it's going to give you something. But And I know you don't want something at 3 o'clock, so instead do like a 5 or 5:30 kind of, search by 30-minute increments, right? Instead of brunch or lunch or dinner, breakfast, sorry.
Sure.
All right? Use the refresh method. So make sure that you toggle back and forth between a meal service, right, and a particular time to refresh the availability, because as soon as you are booking at 6 a.m., so is somebody else. Right? And that is useful on those drop days. So those reservations are being loaded into the system or scooped up or released by other guests. So make sure you refresh often, and that's why I say you want to ensure it's easier on a computer than a phone. That's why. And especially for those dining packages, right? Fantasmic dining package and so on and so forth. You want to get those, those reservations refreshing because somebody may be canceling at that moment. And now you can cancel. You can cancel without penalty up to 2 hours ahead. So the next one is change your party size. So that's the big one we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Walt Disney does hide availability for smaller or odd numbered parties as part of their never-ending quest to yield management and revenue maximization, right? So a table of 2, a table of 4, they're going to turn away parties of, as sad as it is, 1 or 3 if they can get a 5, because
of course,
it's money,
Right.
A table of 3 versus a table of 4, they're gonna make more money. So, the odd number of parties. The biggest thing too is it is very challenging if you try to go over 10. You're not going to find a reservation. You can call Disney. The biggest success that we've said and we've had is get 2 reservations closer together, and then you can call Disney. Like I called Disney Dining this week, and they're like, "Well, let me connect you to the restaurant." You're not calling the actual restaurant, and I'm like, the restaurant does not want to hear me talking about 60 days out.
Right.
They're like, "Are you coming in the next hour?" Sure, we'll put your table together.
Yes.
So they're very accommodating in that sense. 60 days out, they can't think about me.
Right.
So,
Right. But we've had parties where I think, what was it, 17?
Yeah, and they've gotten to sit.
And
I don't know if they did a table of 17. I think it was table of 8, table of 9, but it was close together.
But they were very accommodating,
Yes.
and they all were able to eat at the same time, although their reservations were maybe 15 minutes
Correct.
apart or whatnot.
Right.
So that's, again,
they want to make your vacation,
of course, happy.
Exactly. So for those hard ones, let's just say Space 220, Ohana, right? Those kind of ones. Sometimes the dining packages use a notification service. So, but you got to be quick if you're as long as you live on your phone,
quick.
right? Because you're not the only one wanting this notification. So there are free ones, there are paid ones. Touring Plans is a great dining reservation finder, which will notify you when an advanced dining reservation, an ADR you want, becomes available. But then you have to act fast and get it reserved, and you have to have an account. But the free basic version will work. And it's important that you do this. And we help you out as travel agents. But if it's somebody cancels and you're in the park, we can't just change your plans because we're not contacting you, bothering you on your vacation. So it's good for you to keep changing and checking that as well.
And if that's a restaurant that you really want to go to that you haven't been able to, I would say use that for one that is one of your musts while you're down there.
Yeah, and listen, I would just stick with the free version of all these things. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
but
it does the same thing. You get an email.
Right.
And then again, I've done it recently, and it's by the time I got to the actual reversation, it was gone. But you never know. Just gotta be quick.
Well, that's it. And somebody else may cancel, so it's gonna keep popping up until the time passes that you have put in the actual system. So the other thing is multiple devices and computer priority. Like we said that. That window opens, log in on your computer and the app, all right? And it's literally the crack of dawn, and we know that you want to do this lying in bed. However, the best way to do it is to be up and be in Command Central, basically, to make sure you're able to get the dining that you want. You can also go into private browsing, right? And open a new tab for every single restaurant you want, depending upon how you want to be.
Yeah.
But Disney IT knows there's something going on, probably. So, but that's the best thing is have multiple devices, but use your computer as a priority, okay? Staying on site. So anyone that has ADRs for Walt Disney World table service restaurants up to 60 days in advance. On-site guests can make ADRs for the duration of their trip up to 10 days, like I just said. So remember, you get the 10 days. You could be 70 days out, right? Because most tickets are max 10 day.
I understand.
You got it?
Yep.
So we talked about that. Book backwards, which I said is the big thing, because if you're booking 70 days out, those other people are still 60 days out.
Yep,
so get those pristine reservations, those restaurants you want, maybe towards the later part of your trip, because you're going to have a lot more options. Number one, to first secure it, and number two, get the time that you would really like. So if you're celebrate your last night and you're going to Magic Kingdom, go to the Poly, get Ohana. You'll have a lot more success to get dinner there versus the first day, because there's a ton of people already booked that. Make sense?
It does.
Everybody's
it's smart. So smart.
Yeah, and so exactly. So you think of those high,
Demand.
the high demand, high value ones, right? Be Our Guest, Space 220, Ohana. Storybook Dining at Artist Point is really popular right now. Turf Club Bar and Grill, Skipper Canteen, right? For those, but like Artist Point, I'd say is the highest out of all those, and then Space 220 and Be Our Guest and so forth. It's not a very hard and fast rule, but I would build your itinerary that way.
Sure.
The other thing is look early, right? You used to be able to only call Walt Disney World bright and early and make sure you get through to an operator. But now you're able to get through as quickly as possible. So definitely use the website or the My Disney Experience app. And then the drop times. So what I mean by drop times is when reservations open. Reservation availability for those Walt Disney World restaurants typically begin every day at 5:45 in the morning. So that's why you got to be up and early, right? Recording a podcast. No, I'm just kidding. But and if you cancel, a restaurant reservation, your previously scheduled reservation time will immediately be available to every other guest.
Right, because you canceled.
Right. So just I want to make sure everybody understands that.
Right.
And then all those new introduced dining events, special ones, dessert parties are usually 7 a.m. Right? The packages like Phantasmic Dining or fireworks at Rose and Crown, right? So 5:45, but again, 6 a.m. is when you can really start to book. But I would be ready. And looking last minute, like we kind of mentioned while you're in the park, people's plans change. Kids are tired. Kids are cranky. Parents are cranky. Parents want to drink more at Epcot. Whatever the reason may be, they don't want to sit or they're done for the day. They cancel. And now that it's only 2 hours, so it could be noon and be like, I'm not going to dinner today.
Yeah.
And they cancel. It could be 3 o'clock where, Johnny's done. Fine. Whatever. We're going back to the hotel. We'll get something just in the quick serve or we'll get something on the way out, or we've eaten too much food, depending if you're on the dining plan. Make sure you look last minute, because it is very, very likely that you will get a reservation that you want, right? The 60-10 window, everybody puts so many plans in. But there are those restaurants where you keep checking, and Heather yells at me because I'll be checking dining all day, like trying to. Then I'm like, "Ooh, we can go to Topolino's tonight. Let's go there."
Well, no, exactly. But here's the other thing, though, too. Is it within 2 hours, and then you don't get penalized?
Correct.
Right. So you
can
have
cancel
to
up to 2 hours prior to your reservation. Now it used to be 24. Now it's 2.
Now it's only 2. Okay.
Right. So if you want to eat at 6 o'clock, anybody else that's wanted to eat at 6 o'clock, as long as they cancel before 4, they won't be penalized, right?
Right.
But they could have canceled in the morning. People cancel all, you
It's
don't
true.
know what happens. Life happens. Disney happens. Vibes happens. Everything happens. It just changes things,
Oh, my gosh.
Remotely. So
No, it's very true, though. We've had a lot of success with that at times. Like you said, we would just be sitting there walking around, and then Andrew, exactly what he said. Oh, I was just able to get Ohana.
yeah. It happened. And when we went in January, we were scheduled for Kona. I was at the airport. We got off the plane. I checked. Ohana was there. I switched and canceled.
Right.
Done. And I modified at that point because 2 hours wasn't the rule yet.
Right.
But
Now, can we just say one other thing?
you can say
really
whatever
quick?
you want.
Well, but I want clarification. Now, when you do your dining, there are certain restaurants that charge your credit card right away.
Correct. So some of those experiences, right? So, and you can still cancel and get your money back. But for example, Cinderella's Royal Table, they require not only a reservation but a credit card guarantee. All of them require a credit card guarantee. Your credit card information's in, right? It's in as long as you save it. Some people don't save the payment in their app, but as long as you save it. But again, they're not going to book. I mean, they're not going to charge you until, because some people pay cash, some people change credit card, Magic Band, whatever, but that one they do charge you ahead of time. If you cancel, you get your money back. Simple as that.
Perfect.
All right. But as far as the most common times when we say look last minute for advanced dining reservations, between 9 and 11 o'clock the night before, right? You want to go to something as well, because that's when people usually cancel, when they start to plan their next day. And between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. same day, right? You can get, there may be no reservations available 30 days, 50 days out, but then there's tons because people change. Oh, well, we're going to eat here. Oh, I'm still full from lunch. Or, oh, I ate at, the Mexico Pavilion. So there's a lot that goes in that regard. And the number one, the last thing is put yourself on the walk-up wait list, right?
Old school.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, right? You may just, and some people do that. They just be spontaneous and go for it. So, and if you want to enjoy your vacay, like, all right, let's go get to this restaurant. That's fine. Put yourself on the walk-up wait list, give your number, and then keep walking around and enjoy your day, right? Just stay in the parks, or you're at least, nearby. And it's increased. So they are now, the hard-to-book ADRs are now easier to get with the walk-ups because people are canceling 2 hours prior, not 24 hours.
Sure.
So there's a lot of people, and there's a lot more availability here. Right. But they do all do this manually. They because unfortunately, there are people who do no-shows and modifications and cancellations. So the system is constantly, moving. So if there's a restaurant that is really important to you, walk up to the podium and see if there's walk-up availability. It's not as convenient as the app, but it is an option for you as well, especially for those things. And obviously, your last thing is use your authorized Disney vacation planner at bookmdtravel.com.
True story.
Right? All right, so I think that is the best thing. I wanted to wrap up on that, and people talk about dining all the time because it is important. I mean, we love food. We've said that numerous times on this podcast. But all right, let's wrap up episode 46. What do you got for me?
No, so just be sure to check out our website for, notes here, as well as how to get in touch with agents at bookmdtravel.com. You can find us on our socials always. So on Instagram, you can find us at Magical Destinations Travel Co., Facebook, Magical Destinations Travel, Twitter, Magical Desk Trav, and on YouTube, Magical Destinations Travel Company, but it's at Disney Vibes.
Correct. And if you want to hear Heather's joke, please reach out.
No.
She will not post it publicly.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
But she will share it with you. All right? So, till next week, folks, let the Disney vibes flow.
Find Disney Vibes for all your vacation needs on the web at bookmdtravel.com.